Alright, so as usual, it's rare I come and talk to you guys, but I'm going to talk to y'all about my personal view on our society. Alright? And what I've been referring to the world as is a debt dystopia. And the reason why I believe we even got here is because for years, and I watched them do this, especially as social media started to boom and people started giving financial advice, to others and stuff via book or whatever, where they would talk about leveraging debt. And because of this, we ended up in what I would consider to be the debt dystopia. And what it is majority of the world is over leveraged, okay? And when I say debt dystopia, right, I take into account that majority of people in the globe, like on the planet, are actually in debt. A variety of credit cards and and most people aren't paying back their debt. We're not even talking student loans and things like that, right? These things essentially, like this, as I said, the start was people talking about how to leverage debt, and even certain people would describe like debt as the new wealth, and it was all a lie, large scale facade that majority of people got trapped in. And even now I see videos where they hype up how many credit cards they can get, or how you can instantly go get a loan. Sometimes just a grant, which grants are fine because you don't have to pay back grants, but often in like what it takes, or the LLC and EIN you need to go get a business loan at and I think all of that stuff never accounted for like failure, and nobody pursues anything underneath the idea of failing. But majority of the world is in debt. Our whole country, the United States, is trillions of dollars in debt, and people are literally the collateral. We would be the cattle, that would be considered as the guarantee for debt, that like our labor in the workforce, would assist in the payment of. But literally around the world, which a few people are speaking about, like the population is not like meeting the standard needed to multiply, right? Birth rates aren't matching death rates in a lot of places, okay? Birth rates aren't carrying what would be like the older generation. We're not speaking on majority of people not even wanting to have kids because of financial scrutiny and like the state of society, and the cost of living being increased. And all of these things still assist in maintaining what will be not just the national but the global debt, all right, to like the banks who, have outrageous loan policies and things of such. And I've always found it fascinating that we are so willing to lend an 18-year-old thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the pursuit of career and in like education, towards the idea of career that's not guaranteed, or work that's not guaranteed. But like a grown adult who's 30 years old may not be capable to get a loan at a bank, but a kid, an 18-year-old, oh yeah, give him thousands of dollars, on the pursuit of education. And it's all false, man. I think the whole thing has been putting people in debt at a young age, and because they understand that it's nearly impossible to pay back and live, you become a wage slave, and I do believe that like debt slavery is what's next. Like if they call in all these debts and the debt is like substantial, they'll give like a number of like how substantial the debt is, and if you've reached that number and can't pay, you'll end up like in a place of work that you didn't ask for, and you will be like a debt slave. And I think that's where we're headed. But I do consider this a debt dystopia. They've constantly kicked the can in America. Like I think last time they signed a bill to where they wouldn't even talk about the debt ceiling that kept raising for like 2 years or something, and we're still within that last signing of it. So we haven't spoken about the debt ceiling, but it's like it's so many trillions, we'll never be able to pay it back. I think eventually, it's going to be acknowledged that nobody can pay it back, and we stay increasing the debt and increasing our spending, so yeah, just keeping an eye out for that in our debt dystopia, that debt slavery is around the corner. And beware of those leverage your debt traps. Like keep your debt to like a minimum if you can, and truly just pay back your debt, because real wealth and riches isn't debt. Real wealth is just wealth. Like The idea that we even slightly believe that debt could be considered a form of wealth is ridiculous by definition.